Wave Shapers, you are here for a reason. I dare you to stick around and find out why. Welcome to episode 3 of the Wave Shapers podcast. Last episode, we started the concept and exploring why now for the Wave Shapers podcast. We ended off on a question. The question was, is it worth it to gain the world and lose your soul? Is it worth it to achieve commercial success and achieve fans and achieve notoriety and have money, but be so empty inside that you eventually want to kill yourself? Like, that's a serious question. And we all should contemplate that very seriously. And we all should ask ourselves honestly, am I going down that road? Last episode, we ended off on point 3 of why now for this channel, which is the concept of creating from abundance. The goal of the Wave Shapers channels, of the Wave Shapers podcast and the Wave Shapers movement as a whole, the Wave Shapers tribe, is to explore how we can come to create from a place of abundance and not a place of lack. Number 5, the 5th reason why the time is now for the Wave Shapers is I personally was not satisfied with what I've heard out there. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Over the past, sometimes I'd be like, I'm not the greatest at like calculating the times. Like something happened like 2 weeks ago and I'll be like, yesterday. And then something happened like 6 months ago and I was like, 5 years ago. But seriously though, I would probably say over the past 6 years, no, literally 6 years, I have been off Instagram. Y'all know this. Those of you guys that know me, I have been off all social media way more than I've been on. And I'm talking about like 80-20. I've been on like 20% in the past 6 years. I've been off 80%. And not only can social media be toxic for a million reasons, if you guys want me to get into that, write in the comments below. Also, I said this last episode, go to IG, slide into my DMs, but even more, it would be more awesome. I didn't check since the last episode because I just filmed the last episode a few minutes ago. But anyway, if you can follow Wave Shapers, follow Rue Gracia, and message us together in like a DM strand, DM group chat, that's what I said last time, do it. That's like the way. Anybody that does that and says, yo, we on this thing, Wave Shapers, we lit, talk about this, I guarantee you we will eventually get to your video and what you guys want to talk about. We should definitely talk about social media and all the different effects that it has. But one of the reasons why I have been off social media more than I've been on is because honestly, people talk about total nonsense on social media. For real, for real. Like, especially there's been like a wave of like inspirational speakers type things, but I've listened to some of them. Now, I'm not saying that nobody's out there speaking truth. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying for the most part, this is not it, guys. This is not it. We have people pushing forward some weird agendas and just being selfish and literally just not knowing what the heck they're talking about on their freaking channel. So that's one of the reasons why I created this channel, because I felt like we have an opportunity to explore things with a more intellectual, sober mind, deeper purpose behind the overall purpose of this channel. Over the past few years in my restoration journey, and in future videos, if you guys want to know more about that, let me know what I call my restoration journey. I have been very intentional about what I allow into my mind and what I'm feeding myself with, not specifically referring to physically, but in my soul, right? And even in my spirit. And the people that I connect with, my mentors when it comes to the content that I consume on YouTube, particularly in audiobooks, my mentors, most of them are dead, like actually dead. And the people that inspire me and the people that I've learned from, I'll just throw off some names, not in like priority order, but we're talking Miles Monroe, we're talking Derek Prince, we're talking Wayne Dyer, we're talking Les Brown, we're talking Jim Rohn, we're talking these people, Tony Robbins, right? When you hear them speak, something happens within you and like your spirit resonates and your spirit tells you that's true. That's real. And what I'm saying with this point is that most of the stuff that I hear nowadays, my spirit tells me, nah, that ain't it. So what we want to do here on the Wave Shapers channel is explore things from a place of really being open to what is and what is true. Number 6, some things just need to be said. Another reason for the filming of this podcast is so many things that are destroying our life, and I don't say that lightly, have the power to destroy our life because they haven't been brought to the light. Secrets, guys, holding and harboring secrets in your life is literally poison to your soul. I'm going to say that again. In fact, I want you guys to repeat after me. I want you to say, secrets will poison my soul. Guys, you got to get it out. You got to say these things. You got to open up your mouth. You got to bring it to the light. Secrets are only powerful when they're in the dark, when they're hidden. Once they're exposed, they lose the power to control you. Secrets and the hidden things lose the power to control you once you bring it to light. It's important. And that's huge for the Wave Shapers channel and the Wave Shapers community. We are going to explore and go deep on those conversations that seem too shameful, that seem too taboo, that seem too triggering. We're going to go deep into all that stuff and we're going to expose that stuff. And the last reason why right now is the time for the channel is the future is now. The future is now. I woke up about 6 days ago, actually. It was literally last Sunday. I woke up and I literally just had this impression on my mind, and it was this phrase. It was, the future is now. Like, there's so many things in my life that I have been postponing, that I have been saying one day it's going to happen. And yeah, one day I'm going to, guys, I'm talking about all types of different things. I'm talking about in my, one day I'm going to release this album. One day I'm going to go play these shows. And then in my personal life, yeah, one day I'm going to be better and I'm going to read more and I'm going to take my, health more seriously in this area of my life. Guys, the future is now. The future as a concept, it doesn't even exist. Because you can only ever live and act in the eternal now. Guys, I won't be suggesting a million books on this, in our conversations, but there are a few books that have radically affected my outlook on life. And I don't say that lightly. And one of them is the very famous, very popular book, and rightfully so. It's called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Guys, I read that book twice. Actually, I audibled it twice, but should we even be making distinctions nowadays between reading and audibling? I got over that whole junk. I got over like the guilt of like, oh, would I be learning more if I was reading it rather than audible? No, like, it's better to audible than to not read or audible. You get what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. Also, I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that I am a musician, but I feel like I process stuff better audibly than visually. Or if not, at the bare minimum, like, I just wasn't reading, sitting down, but I have gone ham on these audiobooks and I've learned a lot. Anyway, the point is that I audiobooked which his voice is Eckhart Tolle's voice. Is it Eckhart Tolle or Eckhart Tolle? I think it's Tolle. His voice is funny on that audiobook, bro. It kind of be creeping me out sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie. Especially he does like the little things. If you guys have heard that. It kind of be creeping me out. But the revelation in that book is solid. There's not too many books that I'm gonna say, like, you must read this book. You must put it in the... I'm gonna say it like this. You need to put this in the top 5 of your to-read list right now. The Power of Now. That junk will radically affect your outlook on life. And along with the concept and the things that you're going to learn in The Power of Now, that's one of the, the overarching principle of the book is that we are living in the ever-present now. There is no such thing as writing that song tomorrow, because tomorrow, if you end up writing that song, it will be because you're doing it in the now, And I'm just tired, to be real with you guys. I'm tired of postponing and procrastinating on the things that I've said I was going to do. And that doesn't mean that we need to do all of the things that we've said we were ever going to do, because if you've said that you were going to do some dumb things that you shouldn't do, definitely don't do those things anymore. Don't be so in love with one idea that you're not willing to accept a better idea. But those better ideas that are a part of who we are and a part of our soul, and those things that we say, I want to do that, I believe like that's part of my purpose, we got to do those things. I encourage you right now. You have everything that it will take. Everybody's waiting and everything is ready for you to take action and start taking steps towards the better life that you believe you can attain. You have to take action. Help, I'm sorry to tell you, help doesn't just come to you. It's possible that I'm not saying that it's never happened, but you got to go get help. You got to get up and you got to act. You got to work. You got to make something happen. It's easy to shift direction when there's forward movement, like in a car. If the car is completely stopped, it's harder to turn the steering wheel. And you will never find yourself on the right path until you get moving. The grace, listen to me right now, young man, young woman, my friend, my brother, my sister. The grace, the enablement, the empowerment that you need to be able to fulfill your purpose will only come when you fully committed to that purpose. That grace, that empowerment, that enablement is not going to come when you ain't moving. It's not going to come when you're not taking action. So even me doing this podcast, like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, like, this is not, it's not just something that I want to do. To be honest, in a way, I don't even want to do this, because I sense a responsibility, and I don't mean that in a bad way. But I just mean, like, I'm doing this because I feel like it's part of my purpose, and I'm tired of delaying so many things in my purpose. And you know what? I've had for so many years an idea of how my life was going to look and the order in which things were going to be fulfilled in my life, and I've always, something even as simple, because in this podcast, I'm not going to be afraid to use my personal life and my example and put it out there and wear my heart on my sleeve and tell you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly for the sake of giving perspective. So even for example, the reason why I haven't released music, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but guys, literally my friends, my family, my community, my people, they're hot. They've been hot. They've been hot for years. Like, they don't even believe me when I say, yeah, I'm going to drop something soon, because I've just been saying that I was going to drop. Guys, I've recorded hundreds of songs and haven't released but 3 or 2. 3. But you know why? Because I had adopted some limiting belief along the way, and we can go deeper into this in the future, that I wasn't going to release this music until it was going to happen through these certain channels of distribution. I created that idea in my own mind, also with the guy that I make music with, but that's not really the point. The point is that for whatever reason, I said it's got to be this way. And life has given me so many opportunities. Life has given me so many beautiful open roads, and I have rejected them because they have not looked like what I created in my mind. But what I created in my mind never really existed. That was just a random freaking idea. And a random idea that could have been affected, and in this specific case was affected by my traumas and my insecurities and the way that I grew up and the stuff that I was running from and all this junk. So I had, I forgot that there's another camera over here. I'm gonna look at this camera sometimes. Yo, cut to this camera right now. These limiting beliefs, these ideas that I had in my mind stopped me from advancing and going on the road towards the fulfillment of my purpose. And I want to look at you in the windows of your soul right now, wherever you are, whoever you are, and tell you the future is now. It's time to start. If you were waiting for a sign, this is it. That project that you've wanted to start, it's time to start. That music you've been wanting to make, it's time to make it. That business you've been wanting to start, it's time to start it. It ain't gonna get better than this. The situation is not going to get better. And in fact, it's not the situation being better that's going to guarantee or not guarantee. There's no guarantee of success. Define success. Earl Nightingale says, success is the continual progress towards a worthy ideal. That is going to be our definition of success here in the Wave Shapers tribe. Success is, are you making progress towards something that if and when you ever get there, it's actually worth it that you went down that road? So there's 2 aspects of success. There needs to be a worthy destination. I'm going back to this camera. There needs to be a worthy destination, and you need to be making progress towards that destination. So what does that mean? Worthy destination. If what you're headed towards ain't worth it, it's impossible to be successful. So let me give you an example. If what you're headed towards is, and where your effort and your energy and your essence is flowing, young girl that's listening to the Wave Shapers podcast, is having a bunch of people subscribe to your OnlyFans. A bunch of dudes that you don't know and that will never bring value to your life checking out your booty on Instagram. Posting pictures, thirst trap pictures. Do you even know what you're chasing? Like, for real, like, what if it does blow up? Like, what if your IG account blows up so much that you don't need to have a day job? Is that what you're chasing? Okay, but you got there and now you're here. And what's the value in that? You're one of thousands and thousands, if not millions and millions, I would probably say millions, yeah, of girls that are just thirst trapping out here. Like, what does the size of your ass? Oh, y'all. Can I keep it real with y'all? What does the size of your ass have to do with the value of who you are as a person? And all right, dudes will praise you. Dudes will simp over you. You'll get that validation. But you got to live with yourself, homegirl. You got to live with your own self when you go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but when you go to sleep, like, you got to lay there and be like, my value comes from my booty on Instagram, showing it. Like, come on, guys. And that's just one example. We can give a million other examples, but you have to have a worthy ideal. Like episode 1. If you haven't seen episode 1 of the Wave Shapers podcast, go watch it. Episode 1 is all about starting with why. What is your why? Why are you out here? Why are you alive? Why do you exist? What road are you going down? The road to what? And then once you have that, and it's okay if you don't have it right now. I'm not saying this to talk down to you. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I'm not saying that. However, if you do feel bad, let's wake up. You're feeling bad for a reason. You're feeling bad because there's a conviction in your heart like, hey, yo, I don't want to hear this ish, but he's right, though. That's all I'm asking you. Is this the truth, though? I want to tell you, maybe you are living your life being a thought on Instagram, like right now. Bro, maybe you are out here straight. I don't know. Do people even still deal weed anymore? Yeah, they do, right? Like, maybe you're out here and you're doing something, and if you're going to be honest with yourself, don't let me tell you. You be honest with yourself. The road that you're going down, if you were to play out the movie in your mind, we as humans, we have something beautiful. We have the power of imagination. Imagine the fulfillment of that whole life and the success in that area that you're headed down. Do you even want to be there? And if the answer is no, then stay with us in the Wave Shapers tribe. Continue on in these as we explore the meaning of life and how to reach fulfillment and how to reach enlightenment. Stay with us, because I guarantee that your purpose is waiting for you to discover it. Which brings up an important point. Purpose is not something that we create. It's something that we discover. You don't need to make up in your mind the reason for your existence. There is a reason for your existence. You need to discover what that is. We should definitely make multiple videos and talk about how to discover our purpose and be practical with it. The future is now. If you don't have a worthy ideal, there's one out there and you can find it. And once you find that worthy ideal, then let's define success as, are you making progress? Are you headed that way? Let's not define success as, but you know what really got me for a long time? And I finally released that junk. What got me for a long time was I should be this certain place that I created in my mind by this certain age. Guys, that gets all of us. Guys, you know how many times I looked up, like I'll be hearing a fire album and then I'll look up how old that artist was when they dropped that album. And then I'll get hot. I mean, sometimes there was definitely artists that it was encouraging because they freaking dropped that album when they were 38 years old. And I was like, damn. Like, I don't know. They were tapped in, hella tapped in. And that's beside the point. But we have to let go of that idea of success. Success is, are you headed towards the fulfillment of your purpose? Are you making progress? Even if the progress is slow, slower than you want. We cannot accelerate the fulfillment of our purpose, but we can definitely delay it. I'm inviting you to the journey of no longer delaying the fulfillment of your purpose. First, we need to discover it. And then we need to make an action plan to fulfill it. I love you guys. Wave Shapers, you are the hope of the world. Rise up and be who you were created to be. I'll see you in the next one.